Let me say a special good morning to our listeners via Classic Radio, whether you're listening to 105.5 or 105.9. Good morning and welcome to another edition of To The Point. Those of you viewing GBN TV, Channel 7, 11, and Channels 20, good morning. Those of you via social media platforms, whether it's the Facebook page, good morning to you. Those of you by our YouTube channels, good morning to you. Welcome. I'm your host, GT. I'm going to be around with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. Welcome one and all once again. And it's Friday. It's the 22nd day of September within the year 2023. Good morning once again. And it's going to be an open line this morning. I have no in-studio guest with me, so we're just going to go to an open line. That I know there's lots for you individuals or listeners and viewers out there, I have to say. It's been an interesting week. Lots has happened, and you maybe want to chime in on some of the, of course, some of the stuff that's going around. If I could just define it as stuff, right? You could chime in on that this morning. There's probably something on your mind that you have a bit of an opinion on. You want to share that this morning. You may have, of course, a solution for something that you may have heard is going around, and you think, hey, we could do this. You know, that could probably solve that problem that we having. And you never know, someone in the authority could be listening and say, hey, this person has a great idea that we could probably implement and get a resolution to a problem that we may be having. But it's whatever that's taken place, and hey, that's a perfect solution we come up with. Hey, don't forget to keep your comments short so we can accommodate as much callers as possible. 435-2041, that's the number if you want to get on live with me this morning. Let's go directly to the phone line and entertain our very first caller. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT. Good morning to you and your listeners and your viewers.
Good morning to you, sir.
In the past, I used to preface my contribution and end it with a quotation. I will try to do that this morning.
Go ahead.
In light with the first conversation that was held on GBN this morning. And the first quotation says, education is a movement from darkness to light. And that is by someone named Alan Bloom. He is noted in education, the field of education. Mm-hmm. So, on the basis of that, the conversation that was held for the last few weeks, I thought was very uplifting and enlightening, and it brought a number of issues to the fore which we need to emancipate our minds from. This morning, one of it came up. I would not venture to highlight that, but it demonstrated to me how many of us, in spite of the fact that we may think that we are liberated, especially from colonialism and imperialism and all the things that have been entrusted on us, that we are still, as San Fanon says, black skin, white mask. So, I mean, the way we think, in fact, we think with other people's language, and we're not recognizing that we follow other people's religion, which was imposed on us, and we despise our own. So, it's a lot of work to be done. But one of the things that I think that we need to emphasize more as part of the educative process is the issue of dialogue. We don't know what is dialogue. We know what is debate, winning, shouting, being, arrogant. But we could engage each other, even when we had the most diverse and contrasting concepts and ideas. Because for the most part, we live in ideas. We live in concepts. We don't really live in life. And if we live in life, we will be able to recognize and embrace each other in our diversity. So, having said that, I wish to conclude. Maybe I'll come back in a shorter piece by saying the quotation for this time is, attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity. And that by Simone Weil, that French philosopher. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much also, caller. Have yourself a good morning, and always interesting to listen to you. 435-2041, that's the number. It's an open line this morning, and I beg of you callers, when you're calling in, please your comments short as possible, so that we can accommodate as much callers as we can. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, GT.
How are you this morning? Good morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm all right.
All right. Go ahead, please.
I just want to say this morning to some of the supporters of the NNP. Every time I open mouth on social media, I show the world that Dr. Kit Mitchell wasn't caring and loving for the people of this country. Dr. Kit Mitchell tell us, help him to build this country in a great deep hole. He put us on structural adjustment. Freeze of salary for 3 years. We have all kind of excuse. They can pay that and we don't have no money. That time the church was pregnant with $70 million. The people in this country what support Dr. Kit Mitchell for all these years could not have even paid the rent for $200 a month and $300 a month, and you have all this money there. Look, he come take out over $1 million from the public servants. All these things, and you have all this money sitting there. And today you are coming and talk about pregnant treasury. All you should stop that, because all you exposing the man to show to the world, showing that he didn't care for the poor and vulnerable. That man called the election 9 months before. That 9 months could have used up to help these people and them on a permanent job, could have paid out some of the mortgage and everything, but he do nothing. I have one more to advise the young people of this country. Even though a man go in jail for exposing your whole body, sharing it on social media, that could never rub out the guilt and the shame from you. So my advice to you young people, do something with all yourself better than that. Look at a young woman was showcasing she video theater in Trinidad, I think this weekend. All you film little theater, show people that all you have talent instead of going and do this stupidness now. Come on, man, check all yourself. Jail can't rub it out.
Thank you.
But all you could avoid doing it, and all you could walk with all your head high tomorrow. Bye-bye, my
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And your last statement was definitely good advice to the younger folks. If we have younger ones listening us this morning, suddenly they will heed the advice. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, GT. How are you today, man?
Not too bad at all. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, it's 68 years since Hurricane Janet.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if there's anybody out there who may have had the experience and want to share with us 68 years on how does Grenada can show its progress from what happened in 1955 to now.
All right.
And I think those days need to be commemorated, and they should stay within our memory so that we don't repeat the things of the past.
All right. Hey, you caller. You know, when something of a disaster is taking place, sometimes folks tend to want to meditate on it in their own private, way. Not always someone wants to make that big public say about it. There are lots of folks who may not like to bring out the memory of Hurricane Ivan in a public way. Some folks may have varying way of speaking about that. Let's go to the phone line and entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Good morning.
Yeah, just a little comment on the caller before the two last callers.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about dialogue. I remember Eugenia Charles of the late Eugenia Charles of Dominica said, we can solve any problem with calm dialogue.
Yes.
So I concur with that caller. And in addition, I want to suggest, I would really wish that every child within primary school should learn to swim. I wish that the government make it a part of the school curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
A Grenadian should not drown because they can't swim.
Right.
I know they have this program where this white lady comes during the summer and do something, and she's doing a wonderful job. She and her team. I really applaud that initiative. But Grenadians, and a lot of parents still fear their children. They say, a lot of adults, she don't have branch. But you see, there's a lot of wonderful, exciting careers associated with the sea. Could you snorkel, Mr. Telford? Have you ever been under the sea water and see the beauty down there?
I personally haven't, so I wouldn't want to comment it. I haven't seen what's under there is like, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's wonderful under the sea water, and you know, there's a lot of exciting career associated with the sea. So I wish our children, each and every grade Indian child, be able to swim at least before they reach 10.
All right.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, sir.
And thank you for coming on. Have a great day yourself. 445-2041, 445 is open line this morning. We're looking at 10 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour this morning. It's To The Point open line edition for today, Friday. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Well, we have a little country, you know, Kaiwan Pinamata, and that's 30 square miles in case for other years. They give it up in 1974 to Grenadians to take care of and to maintain and take care of the people. But now what we create in the Grenadians is a bacchanal. As a people, for a little nation. Everything is condemned and criticized and this and the other. How many prime ministers had the Grenadians for the time being from since slavery, from since the European people had it, England had it? We had Mr. Blaze.
Yes.
We had Eric Matugiri. Right. We had Ben Jones, we had Tim Thomas, we had Mr. Brockett, we had Kid Mitchell, we had Nick Mitchell, right? Compare all them guys together. We have Bishop Lamin who won Greener for a while, tried best by the case, and we still destroyed. Right. We have to build Greener, Calvin Peter Martinique, we have to do as Canadian people. We have to fight on each other. Come together and start condemning. You can't even condemn a black man, to condemn in the own self, you know. All of us come on slavery. All of us come on slavery and we're trying to deal and trying to make yourself man and woman in this country in any case. When you got this fight down and this banter, we ain't going nowhere that.
Caller, when you say build, what do you what you mean by we have to build?
I mean, we people there, we people.
Is it
black people?
You talking from structural build, build your mind mentally? What is the build you speak of?
I mean, we are the people there, we are the people.
All right.
We fight on our own self too much every day. So we can't go nowhere because we turn away much of power to the nation and to everybody. So we're going to fight on people and fight on all government come do the part when they're in power. All government come and do wrong and good. There's no government pass and they do all good. No, all government have done a part good and a part bad. Some go like them and some go like them. Because life good, negative and positive is life. The current have overhead run by 100%, run by 50%, 50, negative, 50 positive.
All right.
So human beings have all good and evil, but when they keep on the tongue in the mouth every day, lashing. We won't go nowhere with that.
All right, caller. Point taken. Thank you so much for your contribution.
That's the last point now. England and France ruled Greener for 40 years gone by. French ruled Greener more than England. But they're trying to bring England running for slavery and then the pays for slavery. France are included in slavery too. France must include in Greener slavery department. France, England, and America is one control the world and bring slavery running for all the years. So they might have to pay all black people for slavery. It's time.
All right, caller. Thank you so much. Have a good morning. 435-2041. 435-2041. Open line edition of To The Point this morning. You have the option of calling in. You can also send a message via the WhatsApp 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, GT, and how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you this morning, sir?
Pretty all right. Pretty quiet.
All right. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Yes. I'm taken aback with quite a lot of the comments on our program, especially the live engagement programs. And it seems to me that we're not really learning life lessons from these interactive programs. For example, today, it's 22nd of September. We celebrate, or we might recall, Hurricane Janet. And then in the month of September, in 2004, we had Ivan. And the destruction was the same. But we have two different scenarios. In 1955, Grenada had a godfather. So the godfather steered things, whoever the godfather was, and we should be able to recall. And we steered things and we made economic recovery. In 2004, we didn't have a godfather because we asked for independence and we get independence. Therefore, everything was in our hands. Did we make any significant stride from 2004 to now in terms of economic recovery? That's one of the questions we should ask ourselves, and we'll be able to understand as citizens and the citizenry of this nation what contribution or what purpose we serve in the socio-economic development of the nation, so that our children, who are the youths today, may not be that delinquent as we put them. Therefore, we should know that we should have a responsibility as parents to guide our children so that today we may not have the social problems with the so-called young people, or young people as we may put it. We must realize that we as parents, we hold the responsibility. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you also, sir. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Highly appreciate it. Let's take a break, folks. You're coming back with more of your calls. Of course, there's loads of comments via the WhatsApp and the Facebook comment section. We will get into some of those comments when we come back. Stay with us here on To The Point.
Introducing the NIS Dream Loan, where possibilities are boundless and your aspirations are our priority. No matter where life takes you, NIS Dream Loans are here to make your dreams a reality. From purchasing your first plot of land or dream property to renovating spaces, building your home, and seamlessly switching mortgages, we cater to every step of your journey. And here's what sets us apart. We offer easy financing options with competitive interest rates, quick approval processes, and flexible repayment terms. So why wait? Apply now and let our dedicated NIS team guide you through this exciting journey. Visit nisgrenada.org/dream loan or call 440-3309 to book an appointment. Terms and conditions apply. Your dream awaits.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point for today, Friday, the 22nd today of September 2023. Let's grab some of the comments before we entertain some of the phone calls. And we have this individual via the WhatsApp is saying, good morning. I'm asking the Mount Hatman Quarry, or who is ever responsible for the management to fix the holes in the quarry road. There are massive holes in and out the road that is damaging individuals' vehicles. There is no way to avoid the holes because the road is narrow and the holes run straight across. If the repairs are not done and the rainy season begin, the road will become a terrible mess. I'm asking them to put some type of filling in the hole. Let's go to the phone line and entertain our caller in this segment. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. This morning I want to draw attention to the influx of the African movies in Grenada. I find them to be very distracting. You go into the shops, you go into the stores, the workers are in a corner with their phones looking at the African movies. They're forgetting to say, can I help you? They're forgetting to do their jobs. Children are unattended, pots are burning, housekeepers not doing what they're supposed to do, caregivers are not doing what they're supposed to do. Even the gardeners are under the tree looking at the African movies on their cell phones. So I think it's a problem. It is a big distraction in the nation. Not only that, the Grenadians are now trying to emulate the culture, the habits, the rituals that they see in these African movies. And slowly we are changing. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just that we are emulating the whole African culture that we're seeing in these movies. But most of all, it is very, very distracting. People are not doing their work. Everywhere you go, on the buses, in the stores, in the supermarkets, at home. So we need to stop and have some sort of self-control, and the obsession or whatever has taken over Grenada with the African movies. We need to stop and take stock in what we are doing. Have a great weekend.
Have a great day yourself, caller.
You did a wonderful job this week. Thank you.
Have a good morning yourself. I don't think I could comment on it. I don't know. Let's just take another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
This last caller failed to realize that there's freedom of speech and expression.
I also feel folks have the option of doing whatever they want in their personal time and personal space.
Whatever you want, and even if you want to emulate it, you're still free to do it. It's up to you, so long as you're not creating any problem in the community or the society. In any case, what I want to make mention of is that there are times when people seem to think that they know everything, and they come on the radio or wherever, and they make statements as if they know. I was told that no one knows anything except what you are told by somebody or you read in a book. And this is a very serious thing. I hear everybody come and read and make statements from this and that as if they know. How do they know? You don't know, because the only thing you know is what somebody tell you or what you read in a book. And finally, there's a statement that says ignorance is science. I want us to think about that seriously. Ignorance is science.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning yourself. 435-2041. 435. Let me go to the Facebook page as we await another caller and see if we could grab a comment or two. Antonio is saying today the Most Honorable PM Deacon Mitchell will be addressing the world at the UN in the evening session. I'm urging Grenadians to tune in and listen to the Most Honorable PM as he makes us proud and welcome him. We receive international community who already shows their love for him. That's a comment there from Antonio. Let's go back to the caller. Good morning. You're welcome.
Greetings, Mr. Telesford. How are you?
Doing good, sir. What about you?
You know, I'm quite all right, thank you. You know, Mr. Telesford, I cannot, under any circumstances, change my current perception of my country based on what I've lived. Mm-hmm. This country is what I consider to be now a Diku country. No, it has nothing to do with Dickon. Mm-hmm. Deceit. Any country based on deceit, hypocrisy, injustice, corruption, and untrustworthiness, where untrustworthiness covers dishonesty, incompetence, and unreliability, is doomed to fail. And if we want to see anything different, we have to change it from the base, from the foundation. I hear things in this here country, it bothers me. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. We'll elaborate on that another time. Today, our Prime Minister will be addressing the United Nations. I'm happy to hear that in his debut speech before such august body. But I just want to throw a couple of things at him so that he takes into consideration as he represents Grenada out there. Get involved in the other debates in the margins of the General Assembly. There is one particularly I'd like to introduce him to. Is that on what has been coined as the sanctions-free economic zone initiative of certain countries who have been bled, drained, robbed, humiliated by this evil, extortive, unilateral, by the way, coercive and extortive economic measures by the hegemons of the world, namely the United States, the United Kingdom, and the neo-Nazi totalitarian order called NATO. I want to hear the Prime Minister stand up and talk about these things, to call on the government of the United States and its lackeys to free up Cuba and Nicaragua and Venezuela and Iran and all other countries leave Sudan, Syria. The United States occupies about a ninth of the size of the territory of Syria. Why? What are they doing there? But they're arming a Nazi regime against Russia. Talk about it, Mr. Prime Minister. Get your Caribbean leaders together with you to talk about these things. Small as we are, but we have a voice in this world because we feel it. Coercion, extortion, abuse with the money which is supposed to be an international form of business transaction is being abused by one who claims to be the owner. These things have to be spoken about today more than ever. I just thought I'd throw that out for what it's worth. There's more.
All right,
but have a nice day. William,
you too. Have a good one. Certainly hope someone in authority is listening and probably could relay the information to the Honourable Prime Minister. 435-2041-435. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. GT.
How are you doing this morning, sir?
How are you today? I'm all right for now.
All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to pursue my idea about a two-shift system working in Grenada from 8
I guess you want to throw it out again as you did sometime last week. You did mention. Do you have another swing to it this time around?
Yeah, giving them some little ideas. Look, half of the country, some part of the country already working 24/7, 24 hours, like Grand Lake, the port, and the whole security system of Grenada. Look, the lawyers complaining a backlog of cases. So they could come up with an idea where they're trying cases all up to 8 in the night. Then, look, we have a population that's waiting to retire at 60. So you have a backlog of people waiting on that retirement to fill up their posts. Then you can have some of the schools. They're going to a different type of training than the academics thing, mechanics, whatever, training people up to L9. Eventually, the bus system, what they are complaining about, not working clothes shopping early, but work up later because they have a volume of people out on the road. Our hotel system already into that, the gas stations and them already into that. So we just need to, it's like a gear, to spin it right over, we have to bring in certain section of the population into it. Some of the stores could be operating later, even like places like the Treasury. But some of these things is the workers are themselves could advise the government on what time or when is the best day to do it. Even somewhere like a nightclub. You don't want to be a nightclub alone. We could have at least 2 clubs operating in a day. Because I visit places, I work, the kind of work I'm doing, I go in the club 11 o'clock and come out there 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. When you come out, you're surprised, you forget it's daylight, you come out. But you could have at least like a club working, the same club that would open Wednesday, Friday and Saturday in the night. They could do the same thing maybe during the day. But it's different shift. But we could start trying to get it because there's a whole set of population on the street. Look at the amount of fellas that drinking rum whole day by some rum shop. All day. Gigi, you might surprise we have
Caller, change is something that we as Grenadians does not gravitate to that quickly, eh?
Yeah.
And the ideas that you're springing out right now, they could happen if we are willing as a people to wanting those changes to come around, in terms of a way of life.
Yeah.
I guess there's something called, we are accustomed to doing things in a particular way, and it's been with us for eons, and it's going to continue with us maybe to the end of time. You understand? Yeah. So one thing that changes, we as nationals, we have to want it. You understand? That's how I see it. We have to want it.
You know what I discovered? We have a lot of good trade men in this country. Yeah, and starting from me, you too. I'm sure you're having a real problem to get a guy to work for you, to do certain things. And a lot of us. And you know what I discover? The half of these trade men in each village in this country here, there are at least 10 trade men, good trade men, they are very serious alcoholics. And they reach a stage that even they come on the job, you find they have a little chubby bottle with the substance in the bag. So we're in a serious problem.
Well, it's a change of mindset, and I certainly hope we could get to that direction where individuals change their mindset. And you know, as I said, it's something that because folks get accustomed to certain things, wanting change could be very, very difficult. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you want to get on live here on To The Point this morning, and feel free to give me that call. Let's see if I can take a peek at some of the comments this morning on the comment section of the Facebook page. Is anyone sending out a comment there? I'm not seeing a comment there. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. So we lost that. All right. What's up with my phone this morning? 435-2041, 435. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yes, GT. Regarding the earlier comment about the African movies, I saw you agreeing with a caller that people can do what they want on their private times. The comment and the concern was not about watching African movies on private time. The comment and the concern is people not doing their jobs in the ministries, in the grocery stores, in the supermarkets, the domestic workers at home, the caregivers. They are not doing their jobs, not on private time, on government time, on work that they're being paid for, that they are in the corners, distracted and not doing their work, watching the African movies. So the comment that you made, people could do what they want on their private times. Of course they can.
Well, I was kind of thinking maybe you were thinking individuals in their private time shouldn't be.
Not at all. I didn't say that. Listen carefully. I said the productivity, the customer service is diminishing and it's very poor. And it is because I talked about you go to the store and you said, where is the salt? And there's a worker in the corner with the African movies and she pointing way down there. Go down there, go down there, go down there. And you're trying to find the salt. You can't find the salt. Where, ma'am? Where, ma'am? I say, go down there, go down there, go down there. And they're stuck in the African movies. They are not helping you in the grocery stores. They're not helping you in the Indian stores.
But
they are not
from
helping
that
you in
point
the
of view,
ministries.
from that point of view, if you're speaking from that point of view, that
was my comment.
That should be tolerated.
Yes, the pots are burning, the diapers are on chains, the old people are not being taken care of. The African movies are addicting and taking over. It's a problem to productivity. Thank you very much, Gigi.
Thank you.
A wonderful
Have a good
weekend.
morning. Have a good day yourself. If you're speaking from that particular point of view, that's understandable. I don't think someone, if they're working and should be, having their time distorted in that way. You understand? But if someone is in their private zone and they, of course, maybe it's lunchtime, it's maybe their time that they take a break and they would decide that's what they're going to do during their break. Well, that's understandable. But if it's while they're at work and they have to attend to customers and they are distracted doing that, well, that's a different scenario there altogether. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT.
How are you this morning?
Not too bad, thank you, and thanks for taking the call. Just a couple of points.
Sure, go right ahead, please.
Grandans Beach is the beach that all our visitors tend to go to.
Yes.
And in the last 10 days or so, I've had some visitors go to the beach, and they have been offered drugs.
Really?
Some of, as they put it, some of the best weed that you can get on the island. Now, these folks are tarnishing our Grandans Beach. We don't want people to be on Grandans Beach selling drugs to our visitors. That's the first thing. I know the police have their hands full, so I'm just saying. The second thing is the drainage outside the trade center, the drains on both sides. It's full, and I know we've had in the past a lot of flooding down there, and nothing seems to be done about that drainage. It goes as far down as where the South St. George police have their offices. Silver Sands, Spice Island Inn on the other side also have this water, right to the top. And the other day I saw this gentleman who I suspect would be suited to the Carlton home washing his face in this dirty water. And my heart sank because I know the bugs and bacteria that could be in that water that he is actually washing his face in. And I thought, okay, when is anything going to be done about that drainage? It's been talked about, and nothing's been done about it. All right? So I'm hoping somebody is listening and can do something about that drainage. It has to go somewhere, but it's just stagnant water. All right?
All right.
The Grand Anse bus route is a challenge for most drivers who traverse that route. We do have some bus drivers who, in the bright sunlight, are driving with their full beam on. They are going past police officers, they're going past traffic wardens, and this full beam, which is pretty annoying at night, you're having to contend with it during the day as well. So I'll be very grateful if somebody could speak to them and ask them, would they mind turning it off? Not only is it draining their battery, but it is pretty annoying.
All right.
So that's my contribution today.
Thank you for your contribution as always. 435-2041. Let's see if we could grab some of the comments this morning via the Facebook page, and we have one via the WhatsApp is this morning saying we should not be perpetually expecting foreign governments or outsiders to make contribution towards our development. Some of the people in those other countries and some of the people in the diaspora are struggling themselves to make ends meet. What does independence mean? Let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome to The Point. Good morning to you, caller. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I didn't want to call, and I want to make it very clear that I think it's great for folks to call and give their various opinions, and we have to respect that. But some things I'm going to comment about, and that is regard to the 24, having things sort of like the 24/7 stuff open at night and shifts and so on. I think there's a role for that, but it has to be targeted towards specific areas like the law enforcement, the military, healthcare, hospitals, emergency rooms, and so on. When it comes to the other stuff outside of those areas, I think we have to be very careful, because evidence has repeatedly shown from a medical standpoint that that's not healthy. We need time to sleep, adequate sleep, not just in terms of duration, like around 7-8 hours or so, but the quality of sleep. Those factors are very important. And when you look at people, we don't realize what luxury we have, quote unquote luxury we have. Because we sometimes think that because something happens in the other world, in the big quote unquote big country, that is better. But you go to New York City and some of those places, the people are always hustling 24/7. That kind of attitude, it causes undue stress, it causes heart problem, it causes a lot of issues, even when something like COVID and so on comes along. Because of I feel that the 24/7 kind of stressful life cycle of modern world in the quote unquote developed countries could have actually contributed to the morbidity and mortality, diabetes and so on. Studies have repeatedly shown, I shouldn't say repeated, studies have shown consistently that night shift workers have an increased incidence of certain malignancies and so on. Like nurses who work night shift, they have an increased incidence of cancer. Now, does that mean we should not have night shifts? Yes, there are night shifts because somebody got to do it. Just as you have military out there, militaries, and somebody got to go on the battlefield. But that doesn't mean everyone should fall in. We need to sleep, and we need quality sleep. And so having this kind of 24/7 cycle with a lot of houses close to the road, and so vehicles are available, so people can go to the bar and they can party and go to the cinema and do all those stuff as they want willy-nilly. That may contribute significantly to a disruption of sleep. But another point to highlight that, and we should take up the issue on, is regard to the quote and the backlog and so on. And if we have such a problem, we have to realize that one of the ways we can solve problem is by efficiency. There are only 24 hours in the day, and remember that that 24 hours are not available for an individual to work. They have to factor in sleep, which is about 8 hours. They got to get home, engage in activities, and so on and so on. So one of the ways to solve that may be to have more lawyers. Maybe encourage kids to go to school and be lawyers and more doctors and nurses and technicians and so on, so that we can handle more cases within the time frame, whether it's 8 to 5 or so.
You have 1 minute remaining.
All right, caller, thank you. So you have 1 minute remaining, and that was on your end there, sir. Let's take a comment here from the WhatsApp once again, and this isn't really saying. The lady spoke about emulating African culture. What culture, religion, and all ways of life are we emulating? Introspection might be the word of the day. That's a comment there from the comment section there from the WhatsApp, I should say. Let me see if I could grab lots of comments via the WhatsApp this morning. Let's see if I could grab this one. What does this is saying? Good morning. To you and your listeners. My issue this morning is about some of the police of this country, their behavior with assaulting people when they're in custody, hitting people. That is not their job, and it's apprehended lawbreakers so that the law can be they can be prosecuted. The law prosecuted them in some way or the other. Some of it makes up in terms of not straightforward in terms of reading it this morning, so I'm probably going to forego it because the info is not that direct in terms of where it's written. Let's take another comment here this morning before we entertain another call. So, I would like the government and the police to refrain from giving permission for loud music to be played on October 19th. The day should be a day of reflection and not gallivanting, if I'm right about the word that has been written there. Let's take a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, bro. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty well. What about you this morning?
I'm fine, my boy.
All right.
You know, I want to applaud Claudette, right, the NDC government, for the minimum wage. I do believe it's a wonderful move, and most sectors of workers are happy. One sector I realize that is kind of uncomfortable and the real costing it, but it's a large sector. So I hope they would look into that quickly. Is the call center workers. They are real up in arms with the government, and I hope the government go back and look at that rate they want to give them to work at, because they are really vexed. Secondly, brother, I have no problem with somebody being gay. I believe I have gay friends, and we get along pretty good. But I have a problem with you bringing that in schools and teaching my child, because I remember in my establishment, there was this young guy from New York, about 10, 11. And we had a discussion, and he was talking to me, but I wasn't listening to him. I was involved in the conversation. And he kind of pushed it again to me. He said they taught that in New York. They're teaching that in New York. And he kept asking me the question, why they would teach me that? As a minor, a little boy, why would they teach me that? And it seemed like in New York, people can't talk. But he having a real problem with that. He was expressing with a passion. Why they would teach him that as a little boy? And he couldn't understand that. You know, and I'm saying that maybe Miss Jacob could help me on that. I think the Bible said that teach a child in the way he should go, so he will not depart from it. So we teach our children that is normal way to live. Then we have a society that people are doing crazy stuff. All because remember, normal is the way we're living right now. If we change that, anything goes in. Anything goes. You have to understand that. What are we promoting? We're promoting a change of lifestyle. So we're changing the whole concept of life. And the devil been trying to do that for the longest while. Remember, in the Garden of Eden, the devil always had a problem with God's creation, which is man, trying to change that. And we're helping him right now by trying to change. I'm all about some people have the Bible as a convenient when they want and all that thing. It's a thing else like that. We cannot change our lifestyle for nobody. All right. I have no problem if it's on a man you want to do what you want to do, or a woman you want to do, that's your business. But our children, leave them alone, please. Have a nice day, brother.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We drew for a break. The final 15 minutes left on today's program. Let's take that break. And when we come back, we got loads of comments to read, especially from the WhatsApp and also the comment section of the Facebook. I'll see if we could get a couple of them in when we come back in the next segment. Stay with us, folks. We're coming right back.
For a limited time, the NLA has dropped all of the 2x balls from the multi-X draw. This means that you, our valuable players, have greater chances of multiplying your winnings up to 5 times more in our 2x drop promotion. Yay! And that's not all. As an additional bonus, there will be fewer free play or FP balls to draw from too. Now you have more reasons to add multi-X to your playway bets. So, value your dreams, win your way, and multiply your winnings up to 5 times more in the NLA's 2x Dropped promotion. Promo runs until Friday, 20th October, 2023. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Carelessly, I was tossed out. I was considered trash. And many thought that's all I'd ever be. Some told me to give up, go back to the landfill, so that I could take 450 years to decompose. No, I dream of a different life, of being part of something better, stronger, and more purposeful.
If given a chance, your plastic would choose to be put to more beneficial use. Choose recycling.
The biggest party in sport is back. CPL and WCPL return with more action than ever before.
Are you kidding me?
Watch the biggest names in cricket battle it out in the race for glory.
Brilliantly, celebrate some more!
Get your tickets now at cplt20.com or at the box office. Join the party. Experience cricket played louder.
Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Hard-On Plus.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's to the point for today, Friday, the 22nd day of September 2023. Let's go back to the phone line before we entertain those comments. Guess we lost that caller, so maybe I just go to the comments for now. Caller was not efficient enough. Now, a few Grenadians like to work in the night. I know this individual who is unemployed. I made arrangements for the individual to work. It's a night job. He clearly stated to me that he does not work in the night. Night is for sleep, not working. That's the one comment from an individual via the WhatsApp. Let's see if we can entertain another comment there from the WhatsApp this morning. Let's take this one. A very good point by the caller. Quality sleep is most important. Grenada has a open and closed system that we must sustain. All right, and I guess that's some folks making a contribution towards that the individual who called in and stating that we probably should have a 24-hour work system. Let's take this one before we move on. And this comment is good morning, GT. When will these white indoctrinated black people stop complaining about the land of their birth? Sweet Grenada. I'm not sure of the direction of that comment there. Let's go back. I guess we lost that caller there once again. I don't think it's me. I don't think it's me. That is. Let's try to close this one again. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, GT. I was tempted to call back. I wouldn't be long.
Please, please.
The caller said earlier that we don't know anything except what we are taught or reading books. I beg to disagree with that. Even the Bible, the famous Bible says, "Be still and know I am." Who knowing that I am? You. I'll leave that one day. There's nothing about that. Why we are told we are, unless you become like a child, not a child, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. And heaven means a state of expansion. We have been brought into contraction, which is hell, by the indoctrination that we're being given. That's why we have the problem, people despising Africa. And I ask the question, if it was not African movie and it was American movie, would it make a difference? I don't watch no movie at all, whether it's African or so, because to me, I don't need nobody to screw up my head with entertainment. I am a learner. If it need be, I'll watch a movie. And in fact, since 2004, I have chosen not to watch any movie that has violence in it.
All right.
So, it's a choice. And people have, depending on the levels. But we can't despise people because it's African, and I know people are frightened of
I don't think the caller was trying to despise anyone. She was just saying it's when an individual is working and she think they are distracted by looking at a movie, whether it's African or whatever they're looking at. She said they're more or less distracted. She gave a little bit of a scenario.
But she did also mention about people on the buses. No, I agree. We have to really settle this thing about productivity.
Yes.
If you have to get people, and remember, I quoted something on attention. We have to have people focusing on what they're about. But I mean, when you put a blanket statement, because African movies have us haywire, we are haywire otherwise.
All right,
we need to get it, even to deal with the thing with the shift. We may not need a shift system. All we need to do is to ensure that people work, produce when they're working, and probably just extend the day a little, maybe on 10 o'clock. Or whatever it is, 8 o'clock, as in some other place. But the thing about trying to envelope the whole day, I don't think it's possible because it has implications for the environment.
All right.
The plants need darkness. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much. Let's take a comment this morning. And this is the developer said, GT, I concur with the last caller. Working until midnight might be a better option than through the night. As long as a long night shift persons in this so-called developer came with the horrible consequences. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hi, good morning, and blessed day to all.
Same to you.
I just have this comment. It's something that is running on my heart. We know that the weather and everything with the heat and everything that is going on, so much time you hear, okay, that we need to kind of stay away from the sun as much as possible, and to avoid, you don't have to do outside, you avoid it and all of that. I am also concerned of the people that do not have what we call a home or some place that they could rest, that they could be away from the sun. I'm speaking about the less fortunate in terms of, we call them the vagrants and all of them. I think it is wise to organize something for these people, a place that they could call, their home as well. I mean, they may not stay in that place, but we know that if we try, something could work. We have security, we could put securities there and stuff like that. But I think we need to sometimes look at these people as well. We know sometimes when there is hurricane season and all these things, when we take them off the street. Now we have a heat wave. Are we looking to do that for them even now? And also
some form of shelter should be to accommodate them during the heat.
Yes,
in the course of the day. Yes, I understand that.
Yes, and even passing around, giving them a little water. All this. I'm not saying that I cannot do that. Once I'm in the position to do it, I could do it. But we sometimes need to look at our people. The Lord said, "Rescue the weak and the needy and deliver them from the hand of the wicked."
All right.
So I want to just inform about that, and also concerning the lady that called in terms of, I believe that sometimes we go to a store and sometimes the way the customers, the way they treat the customers is like if you are hamburging them when you come into that store. It's like they forget that with the customer is what is paying them. When you enter that store as a worker, as an employee, you should be happy to see a customer come into that store, because that person that opened that store did not just open that store to say, okay, the store will pay itself. It opened so that he could get customers.
All right.
And sometimes if you go to take on the way and the attitude that you get from that store workers and staff, you're not going into that store. You're not going into that store.
All right.
Amen. So I just want us to think about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's true. There's a problem in Grenada with customer service. You go into various establishments, and sometimes the manner in which you are treated by the employee within those establishments, they give you the opportunity of not wanting to return. I have felt myself. Sometimes you go into a particular store and you are followed by the security. Makes you think like, hey, I come here to steal. You get that feeling. I mean, not what's happening, but sometimes you get that feeling. You walk into a store and then the security, everywhere you go, the security follows you, and you get the impression, hey, does he think I came here to steal? Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Yes, GT, sorry to come back.
No problem. Go right ahead, please.
What happened? I threw out this thing about this shift, and before I started, I said we're not going to 24/7 because I studied this thing about Grenada and a lot of what is going on. The shift is going from 8 in the morning to 4, and some come in and take from 4 o'clock to carry it to about 9, 10. A lot of places is working. Most Grenadians go to bed 12 o'clock.
You did mention that. You did mention that last week, that most folks go to bed by 10 p.m.
By 10 p.m. And then what I said is we don't have the population to operate at 24/7.
All right.
So look at something. The same people that come in from 4 o'clock, they could go to the ministry or to the port and clear something, do something that they had us to do by 7, without leaving the people job during the day to go and do that, or taking a day off to do that.
All right.
So it's a lot. I studied it. It could work, but we have to take it step by step. Not everybody going to it one time, where you might start with about 2 stores, 3 stores, then the bank do certain things, then this one, and let's see how it works. But not at 24/7. We don't have a population to run at 24/7, because I study all what they're talking about, the implementation of sickness and what and health. I studied all that. We cannot, but the hospital already going 24/7. The police already going 24/7. Grenlec already going 24/7. A lot of things is going 24/7. The other half have to bring it a little closer. And then you'll see the same thing they're complaining about, the buses not running. You'll see they'll have a volume of people out on the road to bring it for the buses to come out. So the same buses that bringing the people to change the shift for 4 o'clock, instead of leaving Grenville with 3 persons, now we're coming in about 10 people because they're bringing people to change the shift. And it's running.
Caller, we get the drift. Thank you so much. 4352041. We have 4 minutes moving out before 10 o'clock this morning, and we may be able to accommodate maybe 1 or 2 more calls before we wrap this morning. Caller, go right ahead, please.
Yes, Gigi, I just want to say, based on things that I'm hearing and the doctor discussed on this program this morning, God made 2 genders, male and female. I don't know, I have not read in the Word of God where there is a gay gender, a lesbian gender, a transgender, a queer gender. You have to know what is a queer. How this constitute, how they make up, because I know male and female, the male have a penis, the female have a vagina, and God make them to copulate, male, female, not 2 male or 2 female. And so I don't know how these genders are, but I want to let people know that these things are diabolic and evil. It is not godly to get engaged. And I would advise the people who have that tendency to gravitate to the same sex to seek spiritual deliverance, because we have a devil that is in the world to steal, kill, and destroy. And this is one way the devil is destroying the souls of those people. He possessed them, and one of the ways, I said it on this station before, and a woman can say something else, but there is an experiment, had been experiment, where they took, when a woman pregnant, and they know what gender you're having in your womb, they inject opposite hormones, and to see what would be the result. And that is the result of telling me children born gay, they born lesbian, they born homosexual. That's nonsense. Is what the scientists and them do with the womb, in the womb, and when it come out, this is what's happening. If you have a female fetus that is injected with male hormones, that male going to gravitate to another female, and that's how it is. That's where they come from. And there are those who are possessed with demons that lead take them to the same sex. So we need a spiritual deliverance, and we need to seek the face of God to deliver these people. Hating them doesn't change it. Beating them doesn't change it. Doing cruelty to them doesn't change it. We need to pray for them and help to get them delivered so that they can be what God made them to be. Thank
you for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. We still maybe could accommodate just about one more if it comes really quickly. We could accommodate and this caller will be our final caller. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, JD. Just a quick reminder to the nation that Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell will address the United Nations between 4 and 5 this afternoon. Hopefully, some of the local radio stations can probably join, but you can also pick up his presentation on Facebook, or you can go to the NDC Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Have yourself a good morning. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today. It's 10 a.m. I want to thank all who contributed to the program for the week thus far, and it's our final edition of To The Point for this week. Join me again next week for more editions of To The Point. Have yourself a great day, folks. Have a great weekend to come. All the best. This way I say goodbye and goodbye.